Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching the originals. This is episode 13 of season 4. That's right, this is the finale. So fast, honestly. It's only a small season. It feels like it's flown by. But in this introduction, we will be casting our votes for our most liked and disliked characters of the season, as well as obviously checking your guys and reviewing it and seeing obviously everybody's opinions, because I think it's going to be really interesting, this one. Now, just quickly reviewing the last episode, it was interesting because the Hollow did take possession of Hope's body, and I like the fact that Hayley did figure it out, because Hope was acting a little bit strange. She was, but she managed to figure it out that she wasn't herself. Vincent was obviously trying to help as well, banish the Hollow. But I just think it's really interesting in terms of like what's going on, because the Hollow, she was kind of like, I don't know, they done something so where they managed to extract her from Hope's body for a brief moment, and she was kind of like an entity moving around, but she was so strong still. She was still attacking everybody. She managed to take out pretty much every single person in the Mikaelson family, while she wasn't a physical being. You know, she was like a ghost. But Vincent locked her inside one of those circles. He had his book, he was doing his spell, he was, you know, casting it. He was trying to banish her away from the earth altogether, send her back to where she come from, because he managed to kill himself. You know, he actually he made a ballsy play, mate. He killed himself, and he went into, I don't even know, let's call it the other side, and he was speaking to her mother, and she figured out, well, she told him the way that they can reverse the spell that was placed upon her and send her back to where she's from. So that's what he was trying to do. But unlucky for him, the Hollow managed to like push him at the very end, and he ended up flying, and he broke the seal, and she's escaped now, and she's fully in control of Hope's body. We've seen it. Hope went to the church, she walked down the aisle, she turned around, all the people was sat there, and he was all staring at her, and she done a smile and an eyebrow raise. So I'm really excited. I think it's been really good, like what they've done with Hope. Hayley, she's giving Elijah the cold shoulder a little bit. You know, she's still scared kind of what she's seeing inside his head. I kind of feel sorry for him a little bit, because obviously he's not really done anything to her in the present, but she's kind of judging him obviously from what she saw inside his brain. And then Vincent just topped the whole episode off with a crazy thing by saying, look mate, I think there is one way we can get Hope back, but you're not going to like it, and it literally is possibly going to destroy your whole family's moral of always and forever. So, you know, I mean, it's going to be crazy. I can't wait to watch today's episode. But like I said, just before we do that, we're going to go and cast our votes for our most liked and disliked characters of the season and see what you guys have done. So let's go over there and check it out, and yeah, let's go and see. So here we are on our most disliked character, and I actually think this one's quite hard, because personally, I have not disliked anybody this season. Nobody's actually got on my nerves, and there's no standout person. And I think because the season's actually been quite small as well, I think it's quite hard for us to actually, you know, fully invest in somebody that we really dislike. Like, I'm going to just pick... See, I feel they're boring doing this, like really boring. But I'm just going to choose the Hollow, because she's the only one that's kind of done something that I've kind of disliked, and that's in terms of obviously attacking everybody. And maybe you could say Sophia as well when she was inside the Hollow, but I actually like Sophia in terms of the little relationship that she's got going on with Marcel. Like, I kind of like that she was willing to try and do loads of stuff to save him, and now he's tried to do loads of stuff to save her. And even though I want Marcel to be with Rebecca, I can't push that aside, and you know, I'm focusing on her because she was possessed, wasn't she? So I'm kind of blaming obviously the Hollow then. Davina wasn't in it much, but obviously when we cast this, it was, we didn't know how much she was going to be in it. And again, like some characters, Josh not been in it much, and Cole and Will, he did take them there, but you know, has he done enough to like be most disliked of the whole season? I don't know. So I feel like this one is a tough one. I actually think that everybody's going to vote for Elijah, but I've enjoyed Elijah, even though he's been different, like totally different. So I am actually really excited. So let's go and cast this and see what you guys have voted for. Okay, and here's your votes. This is me in the future. Hello, everybody. This has been recorded, obviously, after the video, because that was the Patreon votes, and we've got the YouTube section coming in. So it's very interesting here. We've got the Hollow as being the most disliked with Elijah and Marcel. I thought Elijah might have took it once the YouTube people come in and obviously cast their votes. I could see many different reasons why people would possibly pick Elijah this season, so it's no surprise to me that he is obviously high up on the list. But for reference for everybody with the Patreon, they had it as Sophia, the Hollow, and Elijah. So the order has changed a little bit, but it's you know, it's kind of stayed true with two of them up right in there. Now what's interesting is Dominic's only got 2 votes. Now I, full disclosure, would have picked Dominic when I done mine. I thought he was so annoying, he actually done my head in. But at the time, I didn't have him in the vote. Like, it didn't even cross my mind when I originally cast it, and obviously later added him in, and obviously 2 people dislike him as well, so that's interesting. Who would have thought that we would have put Will as well in? Somebody's picked it, and Davina, you know, she's only been in a few episodes, but somebody's still disliking her. It's interesting. I always do love watching and looking at all you guys' votes, because everybody has a different opinion, and it's really interesting, because I think that when we did do the Patreon votes for the most liked, which we will check in a second, as well as obviously the YouTube ones, I think they had Elijah up in the top 3 as well, which he was in the top 3 here with the dislikes, and then he was also in the top 3 liked. So I mean, it's amazing. So thanks so much for checking out and voting for the dislikes. Let's dive over and see what your most liked is, because this one is going to be the most fascinating. This is somebody I never thought I would pick, but I've actually really enjoyed them. I actually really have. Now, I've got to give a shout out to consistent characters that I've never actually made my most liked vote. And those characters, and sadly they're not going to be the most liked either again in this one, are Freya and Vincent. I actually think they're fantastic characters, and I feel like they don't get as much respect as they possibly do deserve. I was saying that with Vincent maybe last episode, a couple of episodes ago. If you used to rank everybody in a list, he would probably become at the bottom of everybody. It's not because he's terrible, just because everybody likes all the main ones. But I feel like some people do go under the radar, and I think him and Freya fly way under it. I think they're so good, and I was like a Freya, not a hater, but I wasn't a big fan of her when she was first introduced, and she's literally twisted me around, man. She's so good. She's sick. I don't know if it's going to be controversial or not, mate, but my favourite person of this season is Hope. How mad's that? It literally is, man. I've literally really enjoyed all the scenes that she's been in. I just feel like the storyline with her has been good, and I feel like every time she's been in it, I said it consistently, that her conversations don't seem robotic. I thought her acting last episode was really good. I could tell when she was the Hollow, and I could tell when she was being Hope, and I just feel like she's been really, really good. So, I mean, I don't know if we go into next season and we jump forward and we change the character, or we're going to stay in the present. I have no idea, but she's impressed me very much, and I'm going to pick her. So, I mean, I'm interested to see what everybody does. And there you have it. There are your guys' votes. Now we have 37 people voting for this one, so it is much more than we did have when the Patreon voted for, and it is ranked Klaus, Elijah and Hope. So Hope has made a top 3. Just, you know, I'm only actually 1. If you take mine out, then she would be drawing with Freya. So, I mean, she's not as popular as I thought she might have been, but she really impressed me this season. I've got to admit, though, I do have to admit, what a shining star Klaus has been in this one as well. Everything that he's done, he has been the whole for your family. You know, that's what I feel like it's for. This show is about family, but then it's took it to the next level this season in terms of, like, he has done everything for Hope. Every single thing, sacrifice, yeah. All his actions are her, considering, you know, his choices. He's made wise ones and bad ones, you know, like he's made rash ones, he's made clever ones, but ultimately it's all been for his daughter, hasn't it? And you've got to respect it, and I absolutely love it. Like, even when he was first introduced, when she was sleeping, and the next episode we had it when he was outside and he'd done the painting and he went for a walk and she grabbed his hands in the woods, and then, you know, she'd done a bit of magic to him, and it just absolutely escalated from there, and he's done everything he could to just make sure that she's safe. It has been sick. He has had an amazing season. I am not going to lie, he's absolutely had an amazing season. And you'll, like, obviously, because I rewatch these episodes as I edit them, sometimes you do miss stuff, and then you watch it back and you think, man, what a guy, mate. You have literally excelled this season. And, you know, I do think he's stepped up in terms of personality-wise, in terms of character progression, and he's just stayed as consistent badass as ever as well. So fair play. Now, if we do go off the Patreon votes, yeah, the order that they had it was Elijah, Hope and Klaus, but Elijah and Hope was drawing, so very interesting, isn't it? Elijah made the top 3 disliked, and he made the top 3 liked, second place in both of them. So I think that's really fascinating, to be honest, because you can, in it mad how you can have a season where half of the fan base really love it, half the fan base really dislike it. It's madness, and that is what you call fantastic writing, in my personal opinion, because even if you loved Elijah, you can acknowledge that he was like a bit, he changed. That was my opinion anyway. He changed, but I loved it as well. Like, I do, because again, it was another aspect of a character that we love already, and then we get a different, darker side of it, and we also like that as well. So I am excited to see how it obviously progress further with that one. But I'm really happy, as I was saying, that in the ranked, I was just saying then, people have picked Freya and Vincent, so get in there. Well done to every single person that has not gone with the absolute main characters and gone for people that are actually sick as well, because They are sick. And when we do the final vote in season 5, when we do the whole continuous season, you know, from 1 to 5, and you can pick your characters, there is going to be 3 votes that you can pick, and you can get one of those in there who deserve it the most. So thanks so much, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode, and if you do, please smash a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Thanks so much for all your support. You guys are absolutely amazing. If you want to watch the full episode, it is free in the description below, and let's jump into the finale of season 4 of The Originals.
The Hollow has been haunting New Orleans for centuries, bro.
You said there was a way to save her.
You are not gonna like my plan. But with the book gone, I need a place that's both powerful and eternal.
You want to put the Hollow into one of my siblings?
I'm gonna need 4 of them. 4 bones, 4 volunteers, 4 different locations. That's how we're going to beat the Hollow now. And you have to go your separate ways, and you have to stay separate for all time.
That is a mad twist, isn't it? I've got to say, let's call a spade a spade. I was miles off, mate. I thought he was going to go after Haley and kill her, but I'm miles off. This guy, again, man. I should have put him as the most disliked.
Know that this is the power of the Hollow.
That looks sick, doesn't it, man? It does look sick.
Vincent needs our blood.
All 4 of us, and Cole isn't answering his bloody phone. I'm usually the first one who wants to run off on my own, and now I don't have a say in the matter. I'm feeling quite perturbed.
Hope is all that matters.
This is not happening.
At first, the freedom is exhilarating, and then one day, inevitably, you wake up with that pit in your stomach, that dull, aching feeling of missing the only people who know you.
Witches, check the cauldron. Vampires, search the quarter.
Why would noble witches stoop to associate with these parasites?
Clear your allegiance to the Hollow.
What we're saying, I think, this is episode 13. I think YouTube are on maybe 10. I'm going to add this, is it Dominic? I'm going to add him to the list. I am sorry if you would rather have voted Dominic instead of the Hollow. I might have even voted Dominic instead of the Hollow. He does annoy me. I think when I made that list, he might have only been in 1 episode, so I didn't obviously. That's the thing about when you make it like 5 episodes behind because you try and hit the end of the season. But I definitely think he's so annoying that I'm gonna put him in.
She is Hope's only other immortal relative. That means you would have to part ways with her as well.
Cole will come.
And what about Nick? On his own, no family. You know very well that without you around, he will go mad.
I want to know if everyone can sense the darkness.
I need you to fight her.
You think you can stop me?
I'm so happy that I picked Hope. Look how good she is. Hope's well good. How old is she in real life? Like 8. She definitely thinks it's real. She thinks he's blowing shit up like Harry Potter, mate, with his wand. I would anyway if I was that old.
You're all right. Some witches, they found you on the street. They called me and I brought you here. You're fine.
I have to get that thing out of Hope.
We should go before whoever did this decides to come back. What creepy resurrected witch?
Oh, that would be your old buddy, Dominic.
Say we either get out of here while we can, or we offer the Hollow a deal.
When you leave here, you need to go home. You need to pack some bags. You need to find a way out of town, quick and quiet, just for you and Hope. And when we finish this ritual, the Hollow is going to live inside of the MIKAELSON'S. So when we finish this ritual, when we get your little girl back, you have got to go.
Man, see, it's a tough one again, because we're in a situation where Haley's got to run away from the MIKAELSON'S. But now, this time, I can't blame her because it's not her idea. It's not her fault. It's nothing to do with Haley, but she's the one doing it. But, like, it's the same as anyone took any kid away. I dislike whoever it is was taking him away. So I'm not specifically going to be, like, blaming Haley, but I feel sorry for, well, Haley and me watching it because I'm seeing her take him away. I kind of want Haley to lose this situation because I don't want her to be taken away. But then again, that's not Haley's fault, is it? She's not even involved in it at all. I really wish there's a workaround, but I can't think of what possible workaround there could be.
Keelan, hey, I'm just kind of losing my mind at the moment. You're supposed to be the big sister that could fix everything, and I really need you.
No word from Cole and Haley.
Try again.
What is the bloody point of...
Try again.
Vincent told me everything. Vincent said the Hollow is gathering a congregation at the church.
Let's go get her.
She's possessed. You sure you want to hand it all over to the MIKAELSON'S?
Dark objects belong to the city. As long as they help us take down the Hollow, that's all that matters. We need allies.
I like it, Marcel.
I can't stop being this. I also can't stop loving you.
I don't need you to apologize, Elijah. Not right now. Right now, I need you to get my daughter back.
She wants him to be that savage now, don't you?
Quite the party. I trust you've come to grovel and bow before the power of the Hollow.
Maybe there's a world in which we all live happily ever after.
I want the king to kneel before me.
Gotta do it. I said this. Klaus done it last time, didn't it? Yeah.
Even the great Marcel Gerard is nothing in the face of the Hollow.
Wow, look how fast it was.
Now that your master has been subdued, the power she promised you has been revoked. Dark object, astounding ability to seal you in the room.
That is so good.
This place becomes an inferno.
That was really good. Got to say, that was really good. Now, I definitely didn't expect that to go down like that. Anyway, Marcel, I really do like Marcel. He went in there, blew that miss, and he was rapid, mate. He was out of there. And I'm guessing this Dominic's dead again. And I was saying before, should I get him as a... But I am still going to put him as the most disliked. But that's what happened last time, man. He was in it for like 1 and died. And then I think he come back and then died. And then he's back again and dead. Are they cuffing her up? Surely she got, yeah.
You are my daughter. You're a MIKAELSON. Brave, unlike anyone I've ever known. In fact, you helped me believe in something your uncle once said. Family is power.
There is something that you need to know about the ritual. Vincent didn't want to tell you because he didn't think that you'd go through with it, but I know that you will, even if it means never seeing her again.
Of course, we will do whatever we have to do to protect her, but you can damn well be honest about it.
And you need to get out of my ear and let me do what it is that I do. Okay, look, we need 4 volunteers that are connected to Hope through blood. We have Rebecca, we have Klaus and Elijah. That makes 3. If you can't get to Cole, then we're going to have to use Haley.
Was something wrong? Vincent said that.
Vincent said a lot of things. No more favors. Unless, of course, you count the burden of hearing my confession. I was never a good father to you. In fact, the first time I saw myself in another was the day I met you. I should have known you'd grow up to be a better man than I. You are family. And as for my sister, her love for you was a threat. How could either of you love each other and still have room for me?
Ah, that is well deep, man.
And it failed you, to my eternal shame.
I've got to say as well, he has consistently, regardless of his actions, always said he's part of the family. Even when Marcel says, you don't treat me like it, which I have to agree, sometimes he doesn't. But at least he's always physically spoken out loud, you are part of the MIKAELSON'S. He always has said it. So that's, at least that's not something that he's only blurting out now. It's a consistent thing, even though his actions, not all the time, express that. Because when it does come down to choosing a MIKAELSON over Marcel, he's always picks a MIKAELSON. So then I understand Marcel's outlook on it when he looks at it. It's like, you say that, but really it doesn't mean anything. It's just all talk. But I do like it, and I like that scene then.
You okay? You're the first thing that comes to mind, and then the next, and we'll keep going from there.
I grew up without anybody who loved me. And I can't just sit back and watch Hope be taken from Haley. I can be the 4th. And will I lose you if I become the kind of monster that killed your family?
I am not going anywhere. Julie and Juliet all the way.
You know, that was sick. That was so good. Get in there, Keely, mate. She didn't even judge her once. Did she just say Juliet and Juliet all the way? Tell you what, I'm giving a fucking clap to that. I've never heard that, and that was so good. It's like Mrs. and Mrs. when you get married. I love it. Now, what a twist, mate. Who's seen the possibility of Freya becoming a vampire? Now, I've got to say, I actually really like Freya as a witch. Not going to lie. I actually do think that she would be much better as a witch than a vampire. But, considering we're going into the final season, you know, it'd be a good twist to see. Now, I'm not going to blame Cole for not coming back. If he didn't answer his phone, whatevs, mate. The guy has no obligation to answer his phone. And if he blatantly ignores the messages, so he's heard it and he's like, nah, then that's different. But I feel like he's probably binned his phone through it. He's living his life. And he'd be the best person to actually take it, wouldn't he? Because he probably has no intention of ever coming back and seeing them anyway. So he's just one bonus. He's like one out the 4. Like he doesn't really mind. But Frey would be a mad twist. And do you know what? She could still be with Keelan, couldn't she? They'd just move away from this city, New Orleans, and go somewhere else and be together.
We should talk before it's too late.
You don't have to say anything else.
He's tried talking to her for bare times.
I know it's over. Whatever we are, you and me, we were doomed. best thing I can do for you is disappear.
Okay, so do you know what? I do find this Haley and Elijah thing really interesting because, you know, she is technically they broke up for something that he's done in the past, his memory. Now, I know we're on this, but I've just literally edited a YouTube video. I'm just going to literally click on it here, right? In my thing. Listen to this exact clip, what she says.
You'll never forget what happened, but you can't let the past define who you are.
You can't let the past define who you are. Literally, she says that to a girl, but she's kind of like defining Elijah in this situation here. She is literally defining Elijah and his personality and who he is from his past. How interesting is that? You know, you're not listening to yourself there, Haley. You're not. Whose blood is that she's from?
Okay, this is crazy. I mean, what if you don't wake up?
Oh well, magic's kind of overrated.
Easy for you to say. Given the number of messages and magic notes appearing in my pocket, I figured it might be an emergency.
You always did love a dramatic entrance.
Oh, I prefer them more than my departures, which often involved you and the pointy end of a dagger.
You were always the keeper of our bond. If you come to my rescue, as you have done so many times before, it will only serve to aid our enemy. When the time comes, I beg you, let me go.
I feel sorry for Elijah. I mean, I feel sorry for them all, but like, he is losing the most, isn't he? Haley, Hope, and all his family.
You come to gloat?
No, I came to make sure that this works.
I just want to say that what you guys are doing here today is going to go a long way towards setting things right in this city. And yet, here and now, despite all of our differences, and thank you.
Maybe this will finally earn us our redemption.
Do any of us really believe that?
Haley, when I tell you to, I want you to take the manacles off.
We had a good run.
Hey, they look sick then. Look at them.
Okay, you guys need to go. Now!
It's okay, baby. You're okay.
Daddy?
Oh, mate. It's literally heartbreaking for him, man.
I love you.
Oh, mate. That's mad. Do you know what, right? Freya should have killed herself and took the place of Klaus, and then she'd have two parents. Because why does Freya need to be in the life? You know, I mean, it's good that she's there and that, but she could have transitioned over. You know, everybody's got to make a sacrifice, haven't they? These have made a massive sacrifice. Klaus has made the biggest, which is mad. Klaus made the biggest sacrifice. How mad's that, saying that? And he possibly never seen his daughter again, where she could have lost the powers of being a witch, turned into a vampire, took part of the hollow, and then fled the same as all other siblings, and that way that Hope could have been left with two parents. You know, that would have been the best objective, but I've only just thought of it now, so I can't blame them. They might have not thought of that. They might have been panicking like they've been doing.
Where it all began.
Doesn't it all feel like yesterday?
Why'd you ask me here, Elijah?
You see, Marcel, my disease has always been blind devotion to my brother. I'm at the complete mercy of that devotion. I can't do that anymore. You have to end this for me. I want you to set me free.
You know, I spent 8 glorious months changing dirty diapers and reading bedtime stories to that sweet girl. Tell her that her Auntie Bex loves her.
If I stay and study its power,
You are such a Mikaelson. I'm going to give you some advice that took me way too long to learn. What you have with Keelan, don't lose that.
Well, with Vincent's power, he can open my mind, allowing you to compel me.
What if we're just creating a monster here?
I am a monster.
We can wipe out centuries of family drama.
Your vow, the promise of always and forever. Forget it. All the pain that went with it. All the love. Forget it.
Look how young he looks
The
there.
family you cherish. The vow that you have honored. Forget it.
Oh, didn't like that cutscene there. It like that was a shit cutscene. Sorry, like it didn't even end like with a black screen. Usually it goes boom, and he just like boom to this. Like interesting. I've got to say, right, when I'm dying, yeah, in real life, I hope I get that shit there that he's just got, but in a good way, where I remember everything. Because I just love sitting here looking at that mate. What did we get? Like 1 second snippet about 50 different clips, and how good was it? Like, you sit here and you just look at it, and I was just looking at it thinking, wow, look at all these memories, look how good this program is, you know, look at all the stuff that we've been through, look how young he looks, you know, look how crazy, like, everybody was, and doing all these mad things to save everybody, fighting Michael, you know, like always and forever part, to him seeing Haley when she was there dressed up looking all like beautiful, like, and he undone a dress, and he sat there when Klaus was on the bench and he was like saying, nah, that's not my kid, do you remember? All of that stuff. I would never, like, if you ask me, I would never have remembered any of that until obviously we get these little things, and I just think it's amazing. Now, yeah, I just hope that obviously when I'm dying, let's hope in another 100 years or whatnot, you get this in a good way, where you get all those flashbacks, because it's so good. And I mean, it's deep as well that he chose to lose his memories or whatnot. Now, I said that I thought he might kill Haley. Now that he's lost all connections, I'm going to stick with it. And I had no reason to say it when I said it. I have no reason to say it now. But I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to say it. I just think it's well interesting. I actually do. I enjoyed that scene. I like Marcel as well. I actually really, really do like him. And it's interesting to see the first original compelled with the help of Vincent. But we've seen in the Vampire Diaries before people being compelled and they can undo it. Rick done it, didn't he? He compelled Elena to forget all the memories. Now, we was told that he could de-compel her, whatever you want to call it, transition back if she asked. But obviously something happened to him and he lost his powers, and that didn't get done. But we was told that the person that done it can be the person that reverses it. So maybe one day, somehow, some way, he gets his memories back. But right now, I think it's well interesting. It can either work in a positive, where he just goes and lives his life as Elijah, or work as a negative, where he goes and lives his life as a vampire and literally just go on a mad one.
Your Aunt Rebecca need to give you this. She loves you so much, and that no matter where we go, our family is with us.
Oh, they're leaving. Where are they going? Hey, imagine if they tied it into the Vampire Diaries. I don't think they're going to, but...
Figured you'd be busy with your plaything, Sabrina.
Sophia. For good. She asked me to go with her.
I am finally free, and I don't want to waste a second.
And nobody's ever going to tell us that we can't be together. Ever.
I want this made into a necklace and one massive engagement ring.
Looks like she's fitting right in.
Ah.
She's adaptable. Spell casting, broomstick riding.
Hogwarts, mate.
Yeah, well, there is some of that.
Francis Tucker there. Oh, no, he didn't. He's there on his own. Oh, shit. I love that, actually. I would give that scene there 10 out of 10. 100 as well, man. Mate, how good does he look there, mate? Not in a suit. Like, he looks good in a suit. But how good does he look? Just chilled. It, like... This, he just looks like he's just let his hair down. It's not as gelled. It was a bit flicky over, you know. He had his little stubble going. He had his jean jacket on, like he's just chilling, playing the piano. He looks good, man. He looks like he's enjoying himself. Now, I do like how Klaus was there, dropped him 100. That's his little trademark, innit? He loves dropping everyone hundreds. Where's mine? And literally... just like how he just stared at him, looking at him for ages. Like, I was wondering if it's flicking through his head, getting some memories back or not. He gave him a little nod. Could have been just out of respect for dropping him some money, or just like a little bit of memories come back, and he's like, yes. Klaus's smile as well was cheeky. So we had France, where Elijah said he wanted to take Haley. We had where do we have San Francisco, where Davina is, and Cole, where he's taking that diamond, which he wants broken down into what pure jewelry. So Davina's going to be wearing like the most richest things in the world. Then we got Mystic Falls, where Rick is with Caroline and the kids, which I've disappointed Josie, and Dingy wasn't there, you know, because I did say that I wanted them to be a little dynamic trio, didn't I? Now they're in the same school, which is interesting. Kind of got it close. Maybe they're still there, hopefully. Anyway, I'm praying. So there's them three. And then where was the other one now? I'm trying to think. Oh, New York, Rebecca and Marcel. Get in there, mate. I actually really like them two together. I've wanted it ever since they was introduced, to be honest. Like, I think that they've had good connections. I'm a massive fan of Rebecca. She's low-key one of my favourites. I just think she's dead cute. She's, like, all in for family. And I always think that she has a bad time as well. She's one of the characters that I've never really disliked, and I've always like enjoyed everything that she's in. So I'm really happy that she's potentially going to be happy now. Do you know what I thought hilarious is like she's called Sophia, and then she called her Sonia in one episode, and she called her Sabrina this episode. Mate, that is what you call jealous. Well, I love it. Now I said that I want a wedding in the next season. Why not? We'll finish it off. I have no idea how it's going to play out. Do you know what? Right, I have no idea. I feel like this ending here, it could be like the ending of the whole originals completely. So I mean, that is really interesting because we ended it, I wouldn't say like amazingly, but everybody's storyline kind of finished it. If this was never to be renewed, I wonder if they may have thought this was possibly the last season, and they ended it quite in a way that if it was never renewed, it kind of could finish, but then it has been renewed and they can carry on. Because their storyline settled them together. He's storylined he's in the place where he wanted. His brothers come to see him, and then the other two are getting engaged or whatnot. So it's just like all the storylines are concluding, and I'm really interested. I thought it was a good season finale. I actually did like it. I thought Hope done well again when she took out Haley. And I just thought, yeah, it was another solid episode. And I have no idea what the threat is, who's going to be in season 5. Are they going to be together? Are they not? How are they going to use the storyline? So many questions that I cannot wait to find out. And that is going to wrap up today's episode. Hopefully, guys did enjoy it. Now, did you guys expect what happened in today's episode to happen? Because I actually didn't. I did think that Haley was going to die, and I was miles off, wasn't I? The way, I thought that maybe she was the sacrifice that had to be made to save Hope. But the sacrifice was all the family never have to see each other ever again. I mean, that is worse, isn't it? Like, to be honest, for them. Elijah as well, he's lost all memory of his family. He's compelled himself to forget, which I think is absolutely crazy as well. Hope, I've voted her as the best character of this season, and I feel like she's not in the next season now. That's crazy. You know what I mean? One season wonder, in and out. Shake it all about. That is literally what she's done. Madness. She's been dropped off at Rick's school now for gifted kids or whatnot, so that's interesting. Marcel, he could have been with Sophia, but he decided to go with Rebecca at the end into New York. And like I said, Cole and Davina are together. So loads of people, we've got 2 happy couples. We've got obviously one broken up couple, Elijah and Haley. And what's Haley going to do now? Is she going to stay around Mystic Falls? I'm assuming so. She's not going to just drop a kid off at like boarding school and then just get away. Surely she'd want to stay around. Otherwise, that's just like she's lost both parents technically, isn't it? Now Klaus has made the biggest sacrifice in my opinion. I feel like doing something this big requires much strength, and I also respect him so much as well. Where he went to Marcel and said that he was a bad father bringing him up. He used the example that he never really had an example himself how to bring somebody up, and that probably played a factor in the terms of like how he treated him. I think that's facts and not an excuse. People might say that's an excuse. I don't think it is. I think that my dad, everyone, well, not everybody, but personally me, I'm going to say my dad's like the best dad that I could ever have asked for. The morals that he's given me, the respects that he's told me to treat people, and to put your family first the way that he's doing here, like I'm going to instill that into obviously my children, hopefully one day when I have them. And that is because I've had a great parent give me good advice, good knowledge, bringing me up well and respecting others, that I instilled that into somebody else. Now, maybe if I had a father who was absolutely terrible, disrespected everybody, called people names, told me that violence was great, etc., when I was a dad, I might have thought that was normal. And that is like what Klaus is basically saying. That to me, it's not no excuse. I think it's just facts. It's just the reality of the situation. He never had no examples. He never knew how to lead somebody. He never knew what it was to bring somebody up. And he failed Marcel. And I think that it takes a massive person to admit the failures. I think it's so hard to... Not many people can sit down and tell somebody face to face that they've done something bad to them and it was their fault and they're sorry. I think it takes a lot of courage, and I do respect him for that. Now, I'm just really interested to see where we go from here. Usually we kind of have a threat dropped in and we kind of go into the next season possibly thinking, oh, this is happening, or who's going to be the bad guy here. But here, like I said, I feel like we ended it completely, and it could just sail off into the abyss now. I don't know how we're going to drag everybody back together, because the storyline's so big like this, where none of the main characters, literally none of the main characters, can be seen together again. unless Freya absolutely knocks it out the park and counteracts a spell and gets them back. But now we dropped Hope off over there, and Davina and Cole are going to get married. They're not going to come back, surely. So then it would only be Elijah and Klaus. And maybe the next season is all about trying to get Elijah back to who he is. I don't know. Or did he need to do that? He seems happy playing his piano, you know. So I think it's crazy. I have no idea where we're going with it, but I actually do like how they played it out. I didn't expect it, and I think they've done a good job with how it's gone. If we have got one more season, which assuming we have, I keep saying season 5, yeah, and I've actually, I don't know if I've actually checked there is a season 5, but I am going to say it's a season 5. I want a wedding in there. Now, I don't care whose wedding it is. We've got 3 couples here. Yeah, we've got Davina and Cole. They're one. We've got Freya and Keelan. They're one. And we've got Marcel and Rebecca. Somebody has to get married. And I want it to be Rebecca. If I'm being honest, she's been the one ever since she was introduced into the Vampire Diaries that's always wanted to live a happy life and to be a married wife and have kids. Now, obviously, sadly, she can't have children, but she could get the rest of it. And she's always wanted Marcel, and she's finally got them now. I do like how Klaus admitted to him as well, mate. He could never have let them two be together, because what about him? He'd be the third wheel. He couldn't lose them both. That is really deep, and I obviously don't agree with what he said there. But, like, again, it takes a big person to admit that. So, I mean, it is madness. I feel like Hope's not going to be in the next season. And I just hope that, you know, legacies, yeah? That is, I'm sure that Matt Davis, the only thing I know about it is that from reading everybody's, that Rick's in it, Defiant Monsters. Now, people's telling me it was terrible. Now, let's hope it's not. I'm the type of person that I fight through it anyway. We've finished the 2 shows here. I might as well conclude the universe. So, I mean, I will watch. But maybe this Hope's in there, and that's where we go from here. You know, we went from the Vampire Diaries, introduced these, went into the originals, introduced them, gone into Legacies. It's kind of a good, easy segue into it. So maybe we get that Hope in there growing up, like Hogwarts, so to speak. I wonder if the intentions was kind of like Hogwarts, you know. It's so big, Harry Potter and magical school for kids and stuff, and Fate the Winx Saga was out, and that's been good recently. So I'm really intrigued. Can't wait to watch the next season for sure anyway. I'm actually really happy with how this one went. Thanks so much for clicking on today's video. Hopefully, guys, enjoyed it. If you did, please smash a like. It really helps out. Subscribe if you do. And as always, I will catch you in Season 5. Cheers, guys.